murder continues.
Dude wall tower.
Yeah, we're taking the scenic route inside.
It's not even really that scenic. I think it ends up adding like 10 seconds to the overall.
But there's coins.
Gotta get that monies.
To restore power to the elevator, I'll have to reach the security room.
Your Empress, Delilah Caldwin.
It's time for our special mission.
But a few days ago, she was spending all her time in that bleak little overseer.
See, this is honestly where it sort of the game falls apart a little for me, because this just feels a little bit too much like the final mission for Dowd in his DLC, where you're going through a ruined, like, rich person property to go stop Delilah, who's doing a ceremony involving a painting.
To sculpt or paint.
I mean, okay, so yes, you're right, but this is a much better final level than the kind of ratty-ass, shitty fucking mansion that they were living in a fucking swamp. It was horrid.
Yeah, that mansion was pretty awful to just to even look at.
It was dreadful. They should all be ashamed of themselves. At least this one has a proper sense of grandeur.
Decayed grandeur, but grandeur nonetheless.
It's not decayed, it's just been messed up because they're dirty.
Because they're all stupid.
I can use the elevator to reach Delilah up in the throne room.
You've made that very clear, Corvo.
Yeah, it's like, why are you repeating that? Stop eating rotten food, Corvo. It's rotting your brain. Alright, is it time to anger everybody? Are we gonna do this?
Boom!
I very much wanted to anger everybody.
Do the fight!
Here. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're ambushing the ambushers up in here. Good lord, man.
So many.
No kill like overkill.
So many.
And dog time!
Gets
everybody over here.
They really neatly built like this platform with like wood and everything.
Oh!
Like, not only witches but carpentresses.
Well,
that was fast.
That was pretty
There's a lot of people who had a lot of difficulty with that scenario who just went, fuck.
I expected more.
Charged towards your enemy, screaming, and then
there's only parts left.
Yep, because I didn't even memorize those locations. I just went, there's probably one here, probably one here, probably one here, and I only missed one.
Yeah, the one on the stairwell that you put there was largely unnecessary. As somebody who actually did memorize those spawns.
Void wind.
Do you ever regret being such a giant nerd?
Oh look,
Wind
blast more powerful.
Trust me, it's
it gives you gas.
Oh god, it's the school rune.
Mm-hmm.
He's never gonna use it.
That's all there is. That's just it's the school rune.
I got my ideal setup right here.
Mm-hmm.
On my
gun and sword.
On my Corvo.
Oh, see, now they've done a little flooding in your basement. That's not good. That's gonna cost a lot to fix. Did anybody know, guy?
It's gonna be damaged so badly. You're gonna have to replace the whole damn basement.
We're just gonna have to build an entirely new opulent palace.
You know, I still appreciate how you just sort of mosey on through here. What? Don't even care. Hello, lady.
Hello. My name is Corvo. Whoops.
I'm not entirely sure what happened then, because I didn't even think I hit her.
Stabbed her.
But she looked like she fell. It looked like she fell backwards.
You hit her and then you slid into her. The force stumbled her back.
Now she's confused.
And then she.
That's just me staring in dumb silence as she just goes, "Come back here," and then runs off. And then I turn around and she does it again. And I'm just like, "Okay, I'm just not going to, lady. We're not doing this.
Messing with me
you can teleport. We're not doing this." Okay.
Nice try.
Is that the same one?
Poke. Poke. Bloodfly be poking. Not immune to bloodflies after you're dead, apparently.
Nope.
Body's a body.
Look at that, you've destroyed your little bridge. Oh, you made it.
You sound incredibly surprised.
I'm a
about
master
this.
scrabbler.
I just, you know, sometimes when you walk
Yeah,
across
she
little
expects,
bridges
she
like
expects
that,
me to
they
just
fall
topple
apart.
off drunkenly, it's fine.
Yeah, I wonder how many people didn't realize there was a
Indeed.
little upper pathway here to sneak past all these guys.
What? Why even did she
Yeah,
turn
I,
around?
I remember a lot of this from the first Dishonored, so
Yeah,
Okay.
this
if you're
this
familiar
same
with that, it all makes sense.
the same
Robot
duct is in
Man!
Dishonored 1.
I can't believe I paid full price for a game where they reused some of the levels from the first game.
This is DLC.
Arcane, I want my money
This
back.
is gonna end really poorly for you if you try to throw that grenade in here. Man.
No, he's not doing that.
Here I go!
Oh boy, here he
Running.
goes killing
Nope.
again.
Rewired it.
Boink.
God, that charging pistol thing you have going on there is so absurd.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep
Stab.
doing it, but it's great every time.
Just
It's
like
very
there's this
effective.
bright flash and then somebody disappears in this red mist.
Yeah, I guess it's because it's like I've got shotgun pistol now, don't I? So it's just like, shit, you're on the other side now. I hate you so much. Come back here. Come back here this instant.
Her sword.
Oh my god, she's playing with my pots and pans too. She's the fucking she's the chain letter goose. She's the fucking chain letter goose. She keeps doing this to me.
Chain letter.
I have to send this to 5 of my friends or she messes up my pots and pans. I can't believe this.
He still haven't used a grenade.
Well, that's because I was told not to by a cool guy from the future. He sent a message backwards. He went, Robokai, don't use it in the hallway.
I mean, that concussion absolutely would have destroyed you.
There you go. That's just me
And
metagaming again. Even though I'm not even going to use this, I'm just doing it anyway.
Speaking of overkill, by the way.
Well, you know. I couldn't remember at which point they turned up, so I was just like, all points. All points bulletin.
I love the whale oil stations because there is no situation where it's not better to have more whale oil.
Boom.
Yeah.
Whale oil for everybody.
Are you going to hide forever?
Yes.
Die like a rat under a cupboard.
Yes.
What?
What?
And still somehow didn't get affected by anything.
Put it on her face. Oh no, too late.
Looks like. Yeah, no, it's just the one. Really? What happened
Just
to
the
her
one.
friend? I know that there's 2 of them.
He already killed one.
Yeah, see, I'm like, was there? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Dead.
there's
Okay then.
another one.
Oh, and somebody else
Now
is.
what?
Oh no, that was the robot dying.
Oh yeah, okay.
That was my robot dying.
They do that after a while.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa.
Yep, I solved the robot.
I like this
We all had an eye
room.
like that.
Come
This
on,
room's my
come on.
favorite.
You didn't close the toilet on her? I'm so disappointed in you.
Yeah, I know. That
leave
doesn't
a
seem like
little
something I do. I guess I
note.
just.
I mean, her life's shitty enough already.
Her life is over. It now exists to amuse us.
Put her in the toilet, Robo guy. Slam her head in the toilet, Robo guy.
I mean, she's already slammed her own head in the toilet. You're just closing the lid.
She hasn't slammed her own head in the toilet. Delilah
Why is
slammed her
there
head
a
in the
tree in the
toilet.
middle of the chapel?
That's a good question, Corvo. You're asking all the correct questions.
It worked. I painted the
Why is there a
chapel.
tree in the
Underneath
chapel?
the painting. After
Why is there a
arranging
skull in the
from
chapel?
the chair,
Why is there all this other
the
crap in this
doors were
chapel?
corrupted. I was able to transpose the chapel
With
made
more
of
corrupt runes, maybe
It's
I
a very
can
pretty
turn
painting,
Delilah's
though.
painting against her.
more room.
That's a lot of pigment. Like,
That just looks like some sort of hermetic drawing there.
This will be
It
my
looks like
greatest
a
undertaking.
great evil
Transposing my painting
abomination of some sort or another, which I'm sure is basically what it is.
with this
Yeah, no, I mean, it sounds like you're on the right track there.
At last,
This is how she paints.
all will be made proper and good.
I just now realized exactly how much like an alien those recorders look like. It kind of looks like one of those. It looks like the robot from Short Circuit.
Johnny
Johnny
Five?
Five.
No, it doesn't. He
Johnny
doesn't
5
have,
is a prop.
he doesn't have stand-up eyeballs. His eyeballs are in his face, and he just has little
Yeah,
eyebrows that
but
kinda do
like
stuff.
the big like expansive look of the eyeballs and how it and how they're really expressive and everything. Like, that's what made me think of Johnny 5. Even looking at.
That was a Delilah statue. Remember, tour guide Delilah? I basically avoid those because I thought, until like you guys showed it, that they were like the ones in the Doubt DLC, where if you looked at them, they scream.
Scream at you.
Right.
Oil again. Curious.
And then the witches come after you. Whoop. What are those sacks of?
Harf, harf, harf. That dog goes harf, 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 and then just doesn't bother moving anymore.
Yeah, I don't know where the other dog skull landed there when I killed it.
I saw what happened. It tried to land on something where it wouldn't be able to respawn, so it solved the conundrum in front of it by just exploding.
This is the creativity room. This is where they make their knife.
This is what
mannequins.
Yeah, this is just where they like make circles.
This is where knife
of
play
knives.
goes wrong.
There's Mary Kate.
So where's Ashley?
Mm.
Really an Olsen twins joke, and nobody gave me props for that one. Come
I
No.
mean,
No.
you should have gone further.
They're
Clearly.
legitimate now.
Just didn't deliver the full level of comedy I've been expecting.
The Full House of Comedy.
Oh no! See, there you go.
See?
That's
how you
we
do
brought
it.
We brought it around.
In the country, dear, out in the sticks. It's an audiograph machine. What's it for? It enables important people to record their voices.
Oh my God.
Only important people.
A matron's business instructions or a lover's hungry
because
words.
it's a huge waste of time. Why would you record
That's
a voice thing when you
what
could just have a
the
letter?
fuck? That
Yeah,
guy's like an 8.
that got too flowery for me.
Even after I'm dead and gone.
Yeah, well, that's the witches. They always try too hard. They're just a bunch of like try-hard ladies.
And
Yeah,
now she
a lot
is
of,
dead
lot
and
of
gone.
these are like disenfranchised young teenagers and girls that just more or less ran away with Delilah because their lives were even worse.
I thought they were older than that.
Which is a feat.
Yeah. I mean, like it's the world of Dishonored.
I mean, I would.
No, go to your
They
room.
have literal magic powers.
Why would
Like
they
they turned
set
this
up
into a
this?
powder room.
I know. I don't understand. There's probably perfectly good bathrooms somewhere else. And they're like, you know what? I want to shit in a cabinet in a balcony next to somebody
You
else.
say that, but the only bathroom that we've seen thus far had somebody with
There's
somebody
two.
with their head stuck in the crapper.
No, there's one where the guy is hiding, and there's
Yep,
one by
Mummy and
Emily's
Daddy
room.
Dishonored.
Besides, the witches are so spiteful. You'd think they'd want to crap in like Corvo's room, like not in a out of the way hallway. They'd be like, "We're gonna shit in the chapel."
On his bed, just directly
Surprise!
on his bed. For a minute there, I thought she was going on your bed.
Yeah,
No.
I know. I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. And I put it down. And I was like, okay, good.
Creepy.
Sneak.
That
her in the
fireplace
fire.
always weirds me out. It's like an open-ended fireplace.
It's one of those
So
things
it heats
that,
both sides.
Yeah, that was in Dishonored 1 as well, and even then it messed with me because it was one of those things that I was like, that doesn't make anything even remotely resembling sense.
It
And
does.
as a matter of fact, it makes everything worse by
It
being
looks
that
like
way.
there's a texture missing.
Yeah. Well, and architecturally, it's just like School was saying about things that make sense in the last episode. Like, that makes everything more complicated
No, it's
from just, like, a
efficient.
basic living perspective.
Why would
It's
you have
not
two
efficient.
different fires? Have one fire.
Because you probably don't want to heat both rooms with something that was rated for only one.
It's a big fireplace.
Isn't it?
Also, I
You
think
actually
my
gonna be able to
personal
talk to this guy?
idea for that was one side was Corvo's room and one side was just.
I don't care.
Just-
The only person who gets to talk to it, I just leave.
I just want to be left in peace. Okay, dude. Like, I'm just gonna rob
I'm
you
just
and
like,
leave.
dude, I'm here for your eels. Go away. I'm just here for the jelly deals. Let's say
He's
with a
like, fair
mouthful of
trade.
jelly deals.
Jelly deals.
Okay. Well, I killed just
Okay.
about everybody, so there's only really one thing to do at this juncture.
You gotta. There you go.
You have exorcised the demons. This chamber is clean now.
Jessamines
Give me that
You-
map.
chamber is connected to
Corvo
Emily's safe room.
says, Jessamine,
which
I'm
leads
in
up
your
to the
inner
throne room.
chamber.
In a chamber he's visited many.
Let's sell this priceless memorial object map thing.
It's just a map appendice. I picked up like 2 on the way up.
Take me back.
But it was her map appendice.
My hands.
It's better this way.
Anyway, I think what I was saying was in the first game, my idea was that because on one side of the room was Jessamine's room, and on the other side of the room there was something else, and like maybe that's how he snuck into Jessamine's room. It's like through the fireplace.
Sure, we'll go with that for lack of a better explanation.
Doggy.
Yep, so the dogs will sleep on the beds and stuff, which means I have successfully sneaked up on Delilah.
Mm-hmm.
I have sneaked.
I don't think I've
So
ever seen the
not
dog
through-
on the bed.
Though not by your own merit, I might add.
Excuse me, I snucked so good.
Is there any high chaos changes in this level? I haven't
Yes,
seen
you're getting
any.
hurt because you're standing in a fire, dude.
Yeah.
Just see the confusion running through you.
I was actually, for some reason, thinking it was a dunk. Once I realized I could do that, I just kept doing it.
It's hot.
I thought it was like a,
hot.
hey, there's something behind you warning indicator, because some games do it like that. And I was like, but wait, those aren't in this game. What's going on?
Like, no, I'm just searing my foot off. I'm
Why
standing
foot
in a
hot?
literal garbage fire.
Doggy.
It's the noise it makes. It's like, it's almost joyful.
I'm doing like a little basketball shot every time I do that
I'm
too. You know how
free.
you hold it, you flip one hand forwards.
All we need now is like the NBA Jam commentator saying, "For 3!
Boom.
From downtown!"
Come on, Islam!
Well, we've
And welcome
removed
to the
all
gym.
dogness from the adventure.
Goodbye, dogs.
So
we
now
love
it's,
you.
now
You
it's
were
time
good
to
boys.
just get stuck on Emily. No, okay, cool.
She
Look at her go.
paint.
That's
Stab her in the
not
butt.
painting.
Such a tragedy.
That's not how you paint.
She's like buffing out a ding on her car or something.
She still sounds smug.
It's a very nice painting.
She didn't really love Brianna.
Shame if something were to happen to that.
Yeah. This is how you use pigment. You just stick your hands in it and then smear it.
My spirit return.
Aww.
Surprise! I was behind you the whole time, Zaya.
You missed your chance to murder her a lot.
Show me my vision.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever, lady.
Yeah, it's very dramatic. Goodbye,
Trust
Hot.
me, that's
I will
for the
never
best,
forget
Corvo.
you.
Please stop fondling your
Just read her
wife's
diary first.
final organ.
Words cannot describe how I loathe them.
I mean, you
she's so
could
mad because she's just not an
move them
empress.
out.
And no one recognizes her as an empress, and she's dumb. And her face is silly.
So she'd replace all the world with this.
Huh.
Also, her pants are pulled
Just
up really
blinding god rays.
Yeah. Where everybody loves her.
high. Oh, you're gonna do
So,
a fight.
all around this place, there are hidden Delilahs. Look at them. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that at all.
That was the best
I don't
thing you
know
could have
what
possibly
the
done, though.
fuck.
Dude,
I didn't
she
even
was-
know how I did that, or why I did that.
She was like doing a corkscrew thing. She was going.
I'm just
for
like-
it.
I'm just like, does the game just like make you auto boot people like when you get that close? I don't understand. Oh, shut up.
I think it's because she was next to a balcony.
Yeah, it must be, but I'm just like, thanks, game. I didn't want to
It
like
was
do it or
freaking
anything.
amazing.
Boop.
I would not have had that any other way.
I will take back.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, statue hitbox. Full
Yeah,
no body.
that doppelganger is getting incredibly lucky.
I thought you could zoom in more than that.
You probably
I think
can,
it's an
but it's not like
upgrade.
it matters.
couldn't.
It's-
I think you
it's
could in the second
pixel-
game. Ah, and that was my
pixel
last bolt.
perfect, Regardless, dude, you have other kinds of.
Like grenades.
Yes.
He
That
also
you've
has
upgraded.
incendiary bolts.
Oh no, I've been spotted.
Oh no.
Just go down and kill everybody, me.
Come on.
Yes. No. No.
Ah.
I do apologize for the stuttering. My computer was almost at its death throes at this point. I got it replaced.
Many
Actually,
processors died to bring
Oh,
you
hi.
this Let's Play.
Do-do-do-do.
Bye.
She really went head
she's
over
dead.
heels on that one.
No. No.
I'm like guerrilla warfaring these ladies.
The maze is like, they can't see you. You're like 3 inches away from them, and they're just like, I don't understand how this is working.
And I'm like, okay, fuck it.
They seem remarkably weak to gun.
I mean, it's
Guns.
gun. Ooh.
It's not just.
And now I've
boom
taken care of
gun.
that, she's gonna come down from her hiding place.
Boom gun.
And then there will be more gun.
Kaboom gun.
I mean, yeah, no, kaboom gun is... How did you survive? You lucky. Oh my god.
The void for
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, and then you just leave her
That
corpse in
bullet
the
blew
painting.
up like 3 inches from your face. You were talking about Sokolov ruining your beard. You just ruined your beard.
He's fine.
What
Take
has
the
Delilah
throne for
done to
what?
the throne?
No.
He's rugged.
Oh,
Yep.
Lord.
I don't
Yep,
think
time to
you
be the
can.
worst dad.
Worst
Here we go.
dad.
Corvo.
Worst
Oh my
dad.
god, you are the
Worst
worst dad.
dad! Yes!
It's the worst dad run.
I'm completely
Do not
qualified
watch
to
on
be
Father's Day.
Emperor. Oh, what a beautiful ending.
Beautiful ending.
You
It's the only way
saved-
it could have ended.
You saved all the innocents,
Is
but
it?
you didn't save the most important innocent. Or did you?
I don't think he saved a single innocent.
He was nice to innocents.
Hey, didn't kill any civilians.
For a certain definition of
See, look,
nice.
she's safe. It's
He's
fine.
keeping his daughter. She's safe
Is
forever.
safe.
Your daughter is safe. I love the twisted logic in that. Like that, you know.
No one else can ever hurt you again, my stone daughter.
And look, in Starconus, I instituted, you know, extreme
Anarchy.
wrestling with rats.
Yep. Fire.
Were hard, and the people
Things are on fire, and there's rats. Like, stone is on fire. Nice job.
I burned the shit out of that
I like
place.
how irritated the dude with the mustache looks at having a rat on his shoulder. He's not even that worried about it. He's just annoyed.
Dunwall, with the death of Delilah Copperstone,
Look at those guards doing your work for you.
lost its power and was smashed.
They've got their cool shutter
Disastrous
shades
coup
on.
Brought to an end.
Worst dad is loving this shit.
Ugh, God, worst dad is the worst.
Look at it, you're not even quite tall enough
If you
for your
save
feet to reach
Emily,
the
he
ground.
gets to go be the Black Duke of Karnaka, which is
Yeah.
also a pretty good ending.
It
but
is.
I felt it was only appropriate. Worst dad
Just
was the
like-
ending for this one.
In his day,
The way that they announce it too, with you taking Duke as like the bad ending, is like there was only one person who could bring Karnaka under control, Lord Corvo
By
Atano,
killing
the
everyone.
Black Duke, or whatever they call him.
Mm.
Oh,
He's a
you
good lad, that
should
Black Duke.
have killed him
I've
when he
been
was on
playing
top.
too much Crusader Kings 2 recently, and I'm when you say the Black Duke, all I'm thinking is, oh, so he went looking for the Necronomicon in his observatory mission. I got it.
there are things that never change, no matter how hard you try. Questions you must answer.
One-armed Megan.
As Megan Foster faded from the world, Billy Lurk stepped from her shadow, setting out to discover her truest self.
I like
So
the
what
figure
happens
4.
there if you've killed her? You just don't get that scene.
Yeah, I think it's just omitted.
That's not the canon
Well.
ending, though.
And that's it. That's
That
the
is-
last of the major recordings for Dishonored 2 that we've had to do. And so with that comes the credits sequence, where
Enjoy the next 10 minutes.
where we get to listen to the music play and talk about how we felt about the game.
Everybody at Arcane still did an amazing freaking job on this game. So it is
without
only
a
fair
doubt.
for us to give the credits their full due and give them their curtain call as well.
And the string
Yeah.
section is just excellent.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah.
consistently throughout the entire game, the strings are fantastic.
String Man carried the game.
I'm kind of sad there's not like a jarring pop song at the end of this one, like there was at the end of the first one.
I'm fine with that not being a thing.
I'm really sad we didn't destroy the mood for this one.
I mean, overall, you know, I think as people who have done pretty much the most exhaustive Let's Plays of Dishonored and Dishonored 2 probably on the internet at this time. I don't feel bad saying that. Overall, you know, I think Dishonored 2 was a little bit weaker than Dishonored 1, and that's mostly because of Delilah. She just isn't that good of a villain.
Really
and she already had her time
cronies.
in the Dowd DLC, right?
Yeah,
she
and
had
her bad guys
she had
were
her
not
arc.
scary.
She came back. She did pretty much exactly the same thing, and it's just if you don't have a good villain, the story is gonna suffer.
Well, when you think about it, the villains weren't that great in Dishonored 1.
I wouldn't go that far, but my point is moreover that you're introducing the major villain of your sequel in the DLC for the first game, which most of your returning player base probably hasn't played. It completely kneecaps your own sense of pathos and storytelling, because you have to introduce her all over again.
Is black, only then we exhale.
Yeah, I don't know. I think generally in terms of gameplay, this game was definitely the superior one. I like that you had more options for the non-lethal stuff. They definitely learned a lot of really good lessons from Dishonored 1 in the gameplay department, and the levels were fantastic and memorable. You know, the Clockwork Mansion.
Yes, the Clockwork Mansion
still
is
one of the best.
absolutely a triumph of level design. It is
So
one of the things that I would have loved to be able to hear is just the design meetings that everybody went through trying to hash out how the Clockwork Mansion is supposed to work, because it is so incredibly complicated. But they do such a good job of making the process of discovery of how the Clockwork Mansion works, it feels so natural. Like you pull a lever, something happens. You pull another lever, another thing happens. Everything is connected, but it's done in a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Intuitive sort of way. That you never feel but you never feel like you're being fed the answer, but you never feel helpless either. It's such a wonderful balance that got hit. But yeah, mechanically, I would play Dishonored 2 all day long before I play Dishonored 1 again. And you know, that is not just because I tend to play clean hands on this thing, and you know, we saw the extent of my tricks with Dishonored 1. You know, the first 4 times we saw me screw something up, turn around, and then I like hastily jam a sleep dart in somebody's throat. Now I have you know some extra things to do, and the flow of the combat is so much better due to the expanded options that the enemies have as well. Clockwork Soldiers are absolutely amazing. The Gravehound enemies work wonderfully when they're mixed in with the witches that they usually handle with. You know, the witches themselves feel incredible to fight because all of a sudden you are fighting on the same level as somebody else. It's just absolutely brilliant. But you know, I mean, I really do wish we could have had a better villain and slightly less repeated themes from Dishonored 1. You know, the game is definitely big enough to handle more of its own stories, and I know that there were more stories, but this is the one we got. It's strong in its own right, but it definitely could have been better.
Please enjoy our hot take on this game that's 2.5 years old.
Say what again? She said something cutting, but Discord kind of erased it for me.
It wasn't about you.
It's alright.
Yeah, well, whatever.
It's all on Audacity. You can listen to it later.
Sure, whichever.
I'm sure
I mean, I don't feel bad about getting thoughtful about games that are a little bit old, because in a lot of ways, you know, these are the sorts of things that the folks like us who are really passionate about gaming will do. This is how we refine our taste. We figure out what we like and what we don't like, and it brings us closer together as people. It's exactly the same sort of thing that folks do with books, right? You know, why are we still teaching kids books that are over 100 years old? Because they are useful cultural touchstones that articulate themes that bring us closer together as people.
Yeah, but I
And
won't think I would call Dishonored 2 a cultural touchstone that
Aw.
brings us
I
together as
would
people.
not. I would
think
not
that
direct.
Dishonored
Yeah.
2 is a cultural touchstone that brings people apart.
I would
You
also
know,
say
explosions and
I
razors.
mean,
I would also say Catcher
Let's
in the
not
Rye
get too
is a
profound here.
brings
I would
people
also say
together
that-
over blowing people apart. No, I certainly am not trying to declare Dishonored 2 or any other video game on any sort of cultural impact on the level of, for example, Huck Finn or Catch-22. Those are incredibly landmark books, but the basic what's the word I'm looking for? Principle that we're talking about really very much the same. This is exactly the same reason why we all have chosen to work together over a freaking year, because this entire Let's Play is taking a lot longer than I ever thought it was going to be, because we believed in building this experience and showing it off to other people. You know, and I like what more do you want from something than to harness and direct that level of passion? Like that's great stuff.
My favorite part was where I stabbed a guy.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah. Y'all go on now. I've been profound. Now you guys can do your thing.
Yeah, shut up, your butt. I just liked messing things
I don't really have
up.
too much to add, like I said.
I just like
So it's cool.
as soon as a game gives you freedom, I like to break it. So that was my
That's what all the
my
science
enjoyment.
is for.
That is what all the
Speaking
science
of-
was for. What
Speaking of
happens when you
science,
do
Emily
this
over here.
really convoluted thing that no one would think of? But actually, they thought of that, so good for
I
them.
mean, I'm pretty sure nobody thought of headball.
No,
Pretty
but
sure
they knew that.
nobody thought that you
you would-
were going to make up rules for that.
But they
you
knew that
went and did
that
it.
people would want to play with the physics of a detached head. You know, they knew you'd want to try and mess up the Paolo conversation when he comes down to talk to the shopkeeper.
Mhm.
Like, they knew you'd want to mess up and do stuff. I like that. But, you know, Arcane, call me when you retrofit the first game with the second game stuff, because I
Oh,
can't
God,
wait to
yes.
I can't wait to pull 4 people at once into the sky. Dishonored 1.
Yeah, I would actually have to say that I think Dishonored 2 is definitely the better game between the first one and the second.
Yeah, it's way more fun to
The-
play.
Yeah, exactly. And that's because the core combat loop of, do I shoot? Do I stab? Do I blow them up? Do I eat their, heart as a shadow monster? Do I conjure some eldritch pyramid from beyond and sneak on past them? There's so much stuff to do. It is so incredibly fast, and it's easy and intuitive. So the plot almost, it matters because it's okay. But it's not what drives the replay value. It's that core, very, very fun gameplay loop, and it's just a superb success.
They had a lot of babies.
Yeah, I think
That's a lot of babies.
The production ended up going on over something like 4 or 5 years, and it's a really large team. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with us. This has been freaking amazing being able to completely document this game for you. But we are out for mainline Dishonored 2. Please stick with us on our next project.
Bye.
Have a good one, folks.
See you all next time.